Well, somebody's an early bird, and I sure do appreciate it. As soon as I get ready to set it up, I have a like already. I sure do. Thank you. Thank you so much. Good morning. Good morning. We're going to get started very shortly. Today is February 5th, Wednesday, 2020. And I got here as soon as I could, y'all. Fort Worth weather is a little funky today, so I had to get here as quickly but as safely as possible. And so, yeah, here we go. You know what we're going to do today? I'm going to read the Bible because that's what I do in the morning. But you probably know that by now already. Yes, we're going to read the Bible and we are going to be reading Exodus. Exodus. Movement of Jah people. I'm going to be reading through Exodus chapters 37 through 40. And if I'm not mistaken, I don't have my Bible open, so I'm just looking at my guide. I think we ended today. I think, yeah. Let me pop over to my... Oh man, my Kindle Cloud Reader logged me out. I was just there. Yeah, I think today actually ends our reading in the book of Exodus, and I think tomorrow we're going to pop over to the New Testament, which should be interesting. Very interesting, yes. So today we're going to finish up with chapters 37, 38, 39, and 40. So that's four chapters today. So it might be a little bit longer than it has been lately. And then tomorrow in the book of Mark. Let's see what Brother Mark have to say. Okay. I got my chat room kind of quiet. Somebody popped in. Somebody who knew that I was going to go live in a second. I don't know how the notifications work as far as when I'm about to go live, like when I'm setting it up versus when I actually go live. I don't know if you guys get that or not, but somebody gave me a like before I even went live. Hey, I'm not complaining. I was just curious, like, what? It was a pleasant surprise. All right, I don't want to take too long. Wait for some folks to come in so they can join in on the live chat. All are welcome. If you're here for the first time, welcome. Thank you for choosing to hang out with me while I read the Bible. And if you've been here before, welcome back. And yeah, I got a lot of stuff going on my channel, mostly business and entrepreneurship related, as it relates to me anyways. And I do some personal vlogging. And as of this year, per my New Year's resolution, I'm reading the Bible every day because I want to familiarize myself with the Word and with the person that I call myself following, Jesus. Yeah, follower of Jesus. Can't follow somebody if you don't know about them. Well, you shouldn't. All right, I think I got all my technical stuff figured out here in the background. I've shared it out. If you have the opportunity to share out the live, whether you're in the live now or on the replay, now would be a great time to do that. I'm going to wait about one more minute, just enough time for me to sip some of my tea. Where'd my tea go? Sip some of my tea, get my vocal cords warmed up, because we will be reading 4 chapters today. I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but whether you're a Christian or not, you're definitely welcome here to listen to me read the Bible. And if you've got questions or whether you're or comments or insights, whether you agree or disagree, feel free to leave your commentary. Just be respectful. That's the only thing I ask. Just be respectful and be mindful that we may not We may not follow the same type of understanding spiritually, but it doesn't mean that we can't talk about it. I'm here as a student, not as a scholar, not as an expert. I'm reading for understanding. And the more that I read, the more I understand. I don't understand everything I read, but the more that I read, the more that I understand. And the more that I read, the more I can following the path. All right. I think that was a nice little warm up there, pre-warm up. I think I've been live for about 6 minutes now. So we're going to get things started. Let's get this party started right. Let's get this party started quickly. Good morning. How are you? It's me, Kenya. How are you doing today, this fine Wednesday morning? Today is Wednesday, February 5th, 2020, and I will be reading the Bible because that's what I do in the morning as of this year. I don't know what I'll be doing next year in the mornings, but this year, 2020, I am reading the Bible every day. This is the Bible that I'm reading. It is the New Believers Bible Compact Version. First Steps for New Christians. This is the New Living Translation. I should know that by heart. I look every single time because I don't know why. But this is the New Living Translation, New Believers Bible. And then the guide that I'm using is The Woman's Guide to Reading the Bible in a Year by Diane Storts. Set my phone down here. The Woman's Guide. Yeah, I'm not trying to turn myself up. I'm trying to turn myself down. I can watch the chat from my phone. All right, yes. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Or good afternoon or good evening, depending on what time you're watching this on the replay. Leave a thumbs up on the way in, whether you're live or on the replay. I really appreciate it. Every time you leave a thumbs up or a comment, it lets YouTube know what a fine job I'm doing. All right, let's see. 37. Chapters 37 through 40. And I like to do a recap of the previous day's reading before I get started to refresh my memory and put things into context. I don't like to just jump in because I like to see like, okay, what just happened? All right, here we are, picking it up where I left off. The last couple of days actually have been a lot of technical details about plans for building, plans for building, preparing to build, and then building the Ark of the Covenant, the table, the lamp, all the accessories that go with the tabernacle itself, the priest's clothing. So it was a lot of instructions from God to Moses, which made, laying out the plans of what to do, very descriptive detail of the different parts, and then followed up. I think the next day we actually started to gather the things from all the people. All the Israelites brought all their things with willing hearts. Only a few had the desire to give, like they gave their gold and their jewelry to melt down for the different parts of either the temple, not the temple, the tabernacle, and the Ark of the Covenant, and also the tools and the accessories, and then bringing their linen and their goat hair and to make string and different things like that. So all their valuable items they were bringing. And let me give you a quick overview. So let's see, 33. Chapter 3 was, did I leave out that 33? I think it was more like 34, 35, 36. I'm going to start at 33 anyways. This is just a recap. Let's see, 33. The Lord said to Moses, get going in the people you brought up from the land of Egypt. Go up to the land I swore to give Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay, so that's God telling the people to, go out to the promised land. Moses sees God's glory. Yes, that is definitely what I already covered. Chapter 34, a new copy of the covenant. Because when Moses came down from the mountain, he was very angry with what he saw the people doing. He threw the tablets down, destroyed them. So now we have a new copy of the covenant written by God. Let's see, chapter 35 was instructions for the Sabbath, offerings for the tabernacle. Chapter 36 was Bezalel and Oholiab, those craftsmen that were anointed with those skills to do all the artwork and do all the crafting, build the actual building of the tabernacle, because we've been like building up to this point, no pun intended. Building the tabernacle, and now today is where we will start at chapter 37. And as I pop over and look over at the computer screen, I see the whiz. There's the first one in that says, "Good morning, Kenya." Good morning. Hannah Gatledge also pops in and says, "Good morning." Yeah. And Life of Key says, "Good morning," with a little sunshine. Please shine some of that sun over here in Fort Worth. Oh, it's just like drizzly, cold, nasty outside, but I made it here safe, and that's all that matters. But yes, I need some of that sunshine. And Hannah says, "How is everyone doing this morning?" Me, I'm just happy to be home. I do not like driving out in that bad weather. All right. Thank you guys for leaving the thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, share it out if you can. And listen up, because I'm getting ready to read the Bible. All right, chapter 37. Yes, chapter 37. Actually, building the Ark of the Covenant. Let's see. Next, Bezalel made the Ark of acacia wood, a sacred chest 45 inches long, 27 inches wide, and 27 inches high. He overlaid it inside and outside with pure gold, and ran a molding of gold all around it. He cast 4 gold rings and attached them to its 4 feet, 2 rings on each side. Then he made poles from acacia wood and overlaid them with gold. He inserted the poles into the rings at the sides of the ark to carry it. Then he made the ark's cover, the place of atonement, from pure gold. It was 45 inches long and 27 inches wide. He made 2 cherubim from hammered gold and placed them on the 2 ends of the atonement cover. He molded the cherubim on each end of the atonement cover, making it all one piece of gold. The cherubim faced each other and looked down on the atonement cover. With their wings spread above it, they protected it. And now building the table. Then Bezalel made the table of acacia wood, 36 inches long, 18 inches wide, and 27 inches high. He overlaid it with pure gold and ran a gold molding around the edge. He decorated it with a 3-inch border all around, and he ran a gold molding along the border. Then he cast 4 gold rings for the table and attached them at the 4 corners next to the 4 legs. The rings were attached near the border to hold the poles that were used to carry the table. He made these poles from acacia wood and overlaid them with gold. Then he made special containers of pure gold for the table, bowls, pans, jars, and pitchers to be used in pouring out liquid offerings. And now building the lampstand. You know what I was curious about? This is my commentary time, or question time. This is a lot of detail. We talked about what we were going to do, how we were going to do it, and now we're talking about doing it. I'm curious, why so much detail in this? But I'm only guessing here, and you guys can chime in either now or in the replay. I'm guessing there have been like many accounts of God saying, God giving instructions, do this. And either the people obeyed or they disobeyed. Do this. And maybe the people did it, but kind of in their own way. From what I'm seeing here, this is the first time where God says, do this just the way I'm telling you to do it. I'm telling you to do it just like this, and I'm giving you all the instructions you need. And now, like, it's actually being followed exactly like I said. This is what I said to do. This is how I want you to do it. And they did it the way he said to do it. I don't know if that's the reason why it's so detailed or if there's another reason. If you have insight to that, or if you have your own opinion or your own reasoning as to why there's so much detail of what we're about to do, how we're going to do it. Now we're doing it. Please let me know in the comment section or in the chat. Okay, now we're actually building the lampstand. Last couple of days we were talking about how to go about doing it. Now we're building the lampstand. Well, I'm not building it. Bezalel is building it. Bezalel made the lampstand of pure hammered gold. He made the entire lampstand and its decorations of one piece, the base, center stem, lamp cups, buds, and petals. The lampstand had 6 branches going out from the center stem, 3 on each side. Each of the 6 branches had 3 lamp cups. Let me pop over to I tried to be prepared today. Let's see. Do a screen share for you all because I'm going to be reading a lot of all this work that was done. Okay, so right here is a close-up of the ark lampstand. Well, the ark of the covenant with the cherubims there. See that there? I see some buffering. I hope I'm not buffering. I see buffering on my phone. So those are the cherubim looking down and protecting the ark. Let me scroll up. Here is the lampstand. The center stem of the lampstand was crafted with 4 lamp cups shaped like almond blossoms, complete with buds and petals. There was an almond bud beneath each pair of branches, where the 6 branches extended from the center stem, all made of one piece. The almond buds and branches were all of one piece with the center stem, and they were hammered from pure gold. Let me know if I'm buffering you guys, because at least on one of my screens it looks like I am. He also made 7 lamps for the lampstand, lamp snuffers, and trays, all of pure gold. The entire lampstand, along with its accessories, was made from 75 pounds of pure gold. And now, in verse 25, building the incense altar. Incense altar, I know that's on here. Ooh, that's a real pretty one. That's a real pretty picture of it. Incense altar. Okay, that's the one. I'll just leave that one there. Verse 25, Then Bezalel made the incense altar of acacia wood. It was 18 inches square and 36 inches high, with horns at the corners, carved from the same piece of wood as the altar itself. He overlaid the top, sides, and horns of the altar with pure gold. So yes, that would definitely be this one here. He overlaid the top, sides, and horns of the altar with pure gold, and he ran a gold molding around the entire altar. He made 2 gold rings and attached them on opposite sides of the altar below the gold molding to hold the carrying poles. He made the poles of acacia wood and overlaid them with gold. Then he made the sacred anointing oil and the fragrant incense using the techniques of a skilled incense maker. And in chapter 38, we have the building of the altar of burnt offering. Thank you all for your patience. Okay, yes, I do remember this one now. So we got something like this going on. This is verse 8 of 38. Bezalel made the bronze wash basin and its Okay, yes, chapter 38. Verse 1. Next, Bezalel used acacia wood to construct the square altar of burnt offering. It was 7.5 feet wide, 7.5 feet long, and 4.5 feet high. He made horns for each of its four corners so that the horns and altar were all one piece. He overlaid the altar with bronze. Then he made all the altar utensils of bronze, the ash bucket, shovels, basins, meat forks, and fire pans. Next, he made a bronze grating and installed it halfway down the side of the altar. Under the ledge, he cast 4 rings and attached them to the corners of the bronze grating to hold the carrying poles. He made the poles from acacia wood and overlaid them with bronze. He inserted the poles through the rings on the sides of the altar. The altar was hollow and was made from planks. And now in verse 8, building the wash basin. Bezalel made the bronze wash basin and its bronze stand from bronze mirrors. Bronze mirrors, what would that look like? Bezalel made the bronze wash basin and its bronze stand from bronze mirrors donated by the women who served at the entrance of the tabernacle. I guess that would be one way to look at it. In verse 9, then Bezalel made the courtyard, which was enclosed with curtains made of finely woven linen. On the south side, the curtains were 150 feet long. All right, verse 9, building the courtyard. Then Bezalel made the courtyard, which was enclosed with curtains made of finely woven linen. On the south side, the curtains were 150 feet long. They were held up by 20 posts set securely in 20 bronze bases. He hung the curtains with silver hooks and rings. He made a similar set of curtains for the north side, 150 feet of curtains held up by 20 posts set securely in bronze bases. He hung the curtains with silver hooks and rings. The curtains on the west end of the courtyard were 75 feet long, hung with silver hooks and rings, and supported by 10 posts set into 10 bases. The east end, the front, was also 75 feet long. The courtyard entrance was on the east end. Interesting. The entrance was on the east end. Okay. Flanked by 2 curtains. The curtain on the right side was 22.5 feet long and was supported by 3 posts set into 3 bases. The curtain on the left side was also 22.5 feet long and was supported by 3 posts set into 3 bases. All the curtains used in the courtyard were made of finely woven linen. Each post had a bronze base, and all the hooks and rings were silver. The top of the posts of the courtyard were overlaid with silver, and the rings to hold up the curtains were made of silver. He made the curtain for the entrance to the courtyard of finely woven linen, and he decorated it with beautiful embroidery in blue, purple, and scarlet thread. It was 30 feet long, and its height was 7.5 feet, just like the curtains of the courtyard walls. It was supported by 4 posts, each set securely in its own bronze base. The top of the posts were overlaid with silver, and the hooks and rings were also made of silver. All the tent pegs used in the tabernacle and courtyard were made of bronze. I'm curious as to the significance of the different precious materials that were used. So I do notice that, like, toward the center where the actual Ark of the Covenant was, all that stuff was gold. And then a little bit further out for that like initial tent and covering, it was bronze. And then a little bit further out, it was silver. I think gold. I'm pretty sure gold is more valuable or more. Is it more pure than silver? Would it be considered more pure or just more precious? But we have gold on the inside, then bronze, and then silver. Let's see, what else do we have here? In verse 21, we're talking about inventory of materials. Let me look over at the chat real quick. Somebody said it snowed here. Yes, I agree with that. We have to obey what God says. I love pure gold. It's such a nice color. I've heard this story. My mom teaches Sunday school. That is awesome. Hey. And yes, that's right. Okay, Hannah. That is awesome. That means she knows this a lot better than me. But we all have to start somewhere, right? We all have to start somewhere. You don't have to be perfect. Inventory of materials is in verse 21. This is an inventory of the materials used in the building of the tabernacle of the covenant. The Levites compiled the figures as Moses directed, and Ithamar, son of Aaron, the priest, served as recorder. Bezalel, son of Uri, grandson of Hur, of the tribe of Judah, made everything just as the Lord had commanded. He was assisted by Aholiab, son of Ahishamach, of the tribe of Dan, a craftsman expert at engraving, designing, and embroidering with blue, purple, and scarlet thread on fine linen cloth. The people brought special offerings of gold, totaling 2,193 pounds, as measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel. This gold was used throughout the tabernacle. The whole community of Israel gave 7,545 pounds of silver, as measured by the weight of the sanctuary shekel. This silver came from the tax collected from each man registered in the census. The tax is 1 becca, which is half a shekel, based on the sanctuary shekel. The tax was collected from 603,550 men who had reached their 20th birthday. The 100 bases for the frames of the sanctuary walls and for the posts supporting the inner curtain required 7,500 pounds of silver, about 75 pounds for each base. The remaining 45 pounds of silver was used to make the hooks and rings and to overlay the top of the post. The people also brought a special offering, 5,310 pounds of bronze, which was used for casting the bases for the posts at the entrance to the tabernacle and for the bronze altar with its bronze grating and all the altar utensils. Bronze was also used to make the bases for the posts that supported the curtains around the courtyard, the base for the curtain at the entrance of the courtyard, and all the tent pegs for the tabernacle and courtyard. And now, chapter 39, clothing for the priests. The craftsmen made beautiful, sacred garments of blue, purple, and scarlet cloth, clothing for Aaron to wear while ministering in the holy place, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. And now, the making of the ephod in verse 2. Bezalel made the ephod of finely woven linen and embroidered it with gold and blue, purple, and scarlet thread. He made gold thread by hammering out thin sheets of gold and cutting it into fine strands. With great skill and care, he worked it into fine linen with the blue, purple, and scarlet thread. The ephod consisted of 2 pieces, front and back, joined at the shoulders with 2 shoulder pieces. The decorative sash was made of the same materials, finely woven linen, embroidered with gold and with blue, purple, and scarlet thread, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. They mounted the 2 onyx stones in settings of gold filigree. The stones were engraved with the names of the tribes of Israel, just as the seal is engraved. He fastened these stones on the shoulder pieces of the ephod as a reminder that the priest represents the people of Israel. All this was done just as the Lord had commanded Moses. In verse 8, we're talking about making that chest piece. Bezalel made the chest piece with great skill and care. He made it to match the ephod using finely woven linen, embroidered with gold and with blue, purple, and scarlet thread. He made the chest piece of a single piece of cloth, folded to form a pouch 9 inches square. They mounted 4 rows of gemstones on it. The first row contained a red carnelian, a pale green peridot, and an emerald. The second row contained a turquoise, a blue lapis lazuli, and a white moonstone. The third row contained an orange jacinth, an agate, and a purple amethyst. The fourth row contained a blue-green beryl, an onyx, and a green jasper. All these stones were set in gold filigree. Each stone represented one of the 12 sons of Israel, and the name of that tribe was engraved on it like a seal. That is so awesome. I want to see something like that. Verse 15. To attach the chest piece to the ephod, they made braided cords of pure gold thread. They also made 2 settings of gold filigree and 2 gold rings and attached them to the top corners of the chest piece. They tied the 2 gold cords to the rings on the chest piece. They tied the other ends of the cords to the gold settings on the shoulder piece of the ephod. Then they made 2 more gold rings and attached them to the inside edges of the chest piece next to the ephod. Then they made 2 more gold rings and attached them to the front of the ephod below the shoulder pieces, just above the knot where the decorative sash was fastened to the ephod. They attached the bottom rings of the chest piece to the rings on the ephod with blue cords. In this way, the chest piece was held securely to the ephod above the decorative sash. All this was done just as the Lord had commanded Moses. That's a lot of clothing. I wonder how long it took to make, and I wonder how long it took him to dress, and that was a lot of layers. No wonder how heavy it was. Gold, the ephod, the chest piece, the gems, and then of course the clothing. But linen is light and loose and airy, right? I think linen is really cool to wear, especially in warm weather. In verse 22, we got additional clothing for the priests. Before I start that, let me pop over to my chat room and see what else is going on. Let's see. Hannah says, oh wow, that's a lot of pounds. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Good morning, everybody. Erica Brene says, good morning, my friend. Additional clothing for the priest. Verse 22. Bezalel made the robe that is worn with the ephod from a single piece of blue woven cloth. I wonder, is there a significance with the color blue? Red, purple, scarlet, blue. With an opening for Aaron's head in the middle of it. The opening was reinforced with a woven collar so it would not tear. They made pomegranates of blue, purple, and scarlet yarn. I'm thinking, are they talking about little pom-poms? They say pomegranate. I'm thinking pomegranate, the fruit. But do they mean like little pom-poms, like little pieces at the bottom? That's what I'm imagining. I'm going to look that up real quick because I want to know, what is a pomegranate? What is a pomegranate? Exodus 30, what am I in now? I'm in Exodus 39. Priestly garments. Popped right on up. A lot of people must be looking for that. That would be kind of cute though. See little pomegranates. Oh wow, we've got lots of pictures here. Which one shall I screen share? I don't see any with pomegranates. Oh, that sort of kind of looks like it. It's a very basic picture. Very basic, but I think I'll screen share that one. Because like I said, when I think of pomegranates, I'm thinking pom-poms, like little circular globe type spheres. I'll do a screen share. You tell me what you think. Excuse me. So this is a basic one, and this just looks like this just looks like the undergarments actually. This one here. Oop, I wasn't trying to do that. Why you gotta go and do that now? Alright, let's see. Ooh, somebody's got a lot of good pictures on here. Got the courtyard. Okay. Got the inner sanctuary, the outer sanctuary of the tabernacle. Here we go. Nice. Nice. Alright, you guys can see that, right? Okay, so yeah, pom-poms at the bottom. We got the ephod, which to me looks like a vest. Got the onyx at the shoulders. Got the chest piece there. Whoops. There we go. And then the little pom-poms at the bottom. Okay, let me jump back over here to additional clothing for the priests. I left off at verse 25. They also made bells of, no, let me go back to verse 24. They made pomegranates of blue, purple, and scarlet yarn and attached them to the hem of the robe. They also made bells of pure gold and placed them between the pomegranates along the hem of the robe, with bells and pomegranates alternating all around the hem. This robe was to be worn whenever the priest ministered before the Lord, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. They made tunics for Aaron and his sons from fine linen cloth. The turban and the special head coverings were made of fine linen, and the undergarments were also made of finely woven linen. The sashes were made of finely woven linen and embroidered with blue, purple, and scarlet thread, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. Finally, they made the sacred medallion, the badge of holiness, of pure gold. They engraved it like a seal with these words, "Holy to the Lord." They attached the medallion with a blue cord to Aaron's turban. Okay, I see. They attached this medallion with a blue cord to Aaron's turban, just as the Lord had commanded Moses. And now, in verse 32, Moses inspects the work. And so at last the tabernacle was finished. How long did all this take? The Israelites had done everything just as the Lord had commanded, and they brought the entire tabernacle to Moses. The sacred tent with all its furnishings, clasps, frames, crossbars, posts, and bases, the tent coverings of tanned ram skins and fine goatskin leather, the inner curtain to shield the Ark of the Covenant and its carrying poles, the Ark's cover, the place of atonement, the table and all the utensils, the bread of the presence, the pure gold lampstand with its symmetrical lamp cups, all its accessories, and the olive oil for lighting, the gold altar, the anointing oil and the fragrant incense, the curtain for the entrance of the sacred tent, the bronze altar, the bronze grating and its carrying poles and utensils, the wash basin with its stand, the curtains for the walls of the courtyard, the posts and their bases, the curtain for the entrance to the courtyard, the ropes and tent pegs, all the furnishings to be used in worship at the tabernacle, the beautifully stitched garments for the priest to wear while ministering in the holy place, the sacred garments for Aaron the priest, and the garments for his sons to wear as they minister as priests. So the people of Israel followed all the Lord's instructions to Moses. Then Moses inspected all their work. When he found it had been done, just as the Lord had commanded him, he blessed them. All right. When it was all said and done, they followed instructions, which is hard sometimes for people to do. Okay, yeah, the Wiz says I thought it was a seeded fruit. Yeah, I thought so too. I thought they were talking about actual pomegranates, but yeah, pomegranates. All right, let's see. Let's finish up with chapter 40. Chapter 40 is the last chapter. Chapter 40, the tabernacle completed. Hooray! Then the Lord said to Moses, set up the tabernacle on the first day of the new year. Place the Ark of the Covenant inside and install the inner curtain to enclose the Ark within the most holy place. Then bring in the table and arrange the utensils on it. And bring in the lampstand and set up the lamps. Place the gold incense altar in front of the Ark of the Covenant. Then hang the curtain at the entrance of the tabernacle. Place the altar of burnt offerings in front of the tabernacle entrance. Set the wash basin between the tabernacle and the altar and fill it with water. Then set up the courtyard around the outside of the tent and hang the curtain for the courtyard entrance. Take the anointing oil and anoint the tabernacle and all its furnishings to consecrate them and make them holy. Anoint the altar of the burnt offering and its utensils to consecrate them. Then the altar will become absolutely holy. Next, anoint the wash basin and its stand to consecrate them. Present Aaron and his sons at the entrance of the tabernacle and wash them with water. Dress Aaron with the sacred garment and anoint him. consecrating him to serve me as a priest. Then present his sons, and dress them in their tunics. Anoint them as you did their father, so they may also serve me as priests. With their anointing, Aaron's descendants are set apart from the priesthood forever, from generation to generation. Moses proceeded to do everything just as the Lord had commanded him. So the tabernacle was set up on the first day of the first month of the second year. Moses erected the tabernacle by setting down its bases, inserting the frames, attaching the crossbars, and setting up the posts. Then he spread the coverings over the tabernacle framework and put on the protective layers just as the Lord had commanded him. He took the stone tablets inscribed with the terms of the covenant and placed them inside the ark. Then he attached the carrying poles to the ark, and he set the ark's cover, the place of atonement, on top of it. Then he brought the ark of the covenant into the tabernacle and hung the inner curtain to shield it from view, just as the Lord had commanded him. Next, Moses placed the table in the tabernacle along the north side of the holy place, just outside the inner curtain, and he arranged the bread of the presence on the table before the Lord, just as the Lord had commanded him. He set the lampstand in the tabernacle across from the table on the south side of the holy place. Then he lit the lamps in the Lord's presence, just as the Lord had commanded him. He also placed the gold incense altar in the tabernacle in the holy place in front of the inner curtain. On it he burned the fragrant incense, just as the Lord had commanded him. He hung the curtain at the entrance of the tabernacle, and he placed the altar of burnt offering near the tabernacle entrance. On it he offered a burnt offering and a grain offering, just as the Lord had commanded him. Next, Moses placed the wash basin between the tabernacle and the altar. He filled it with water so the priests could wash themselves. Moses and Aaron's sons used water from it to wash their hands and feet. Whenever they approached the altar and entered the tabernacle, they washed themselves just as the Lord had commanded Moses. Then he hung the curtains forming the courtyard around the tabernacle and the altar, and he set up the curtain at the entrance of the courtyard. So at last, Moses finished the work. Verse 34, the Lord's glory fills the tabernacle. Before I go into that, quick commentary. I didn't realize there were different types of offerings. I mean, I knew that they sacrificed like goats and rams and sheep and stuff like that for like burnt offerings, but I didn't know about the liquid offering. I didn't know about the grain offering. Yeah, I didn't know about all those. So that's very interesting. All right, verse 34, and finishing it up, because this is it. This is it, y'all. It's the end of Exodus. The Lord's glory fills the tabernacle. Then the cloud covered the tabernacle, and the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle. Moses could no longer enter the tabernacle because the cloud had settled down over it, and the glory of the Lord filled the tabernacle. Now, whenever the cloud lifted from the tabernacle, the people of Israel would set out on their journey following it. But if the cloud did not rise, they remained where they were until it lifted. The cloud of the Lord hovered over the tabernacle during the day, and at night fire glowed inside the cloud, so the whole family of Israel could see it. This continued throughout all their journeys. That completes the reading of the book of Exodus. Movement of dry people. I've never read that much of the Bible before in my life. And there's so much more to read. Let me check in with y'all in the chat room. Delicious and nutritious. Tea with honey. Not the land of milk and honey, just tea and honey. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me on today's live. Let me give a special shout out to my live chat peoples, which would be the Wills, Hannah Gadledge, Life of Key, and the one, the only, Erica Brene Vlogs. That honey. Erica Brene Vlogs. Since I got choked up, girl, you're so special to me. I got choked up saying your name. Y'all check each other out if you, well, not all of you are content creators, but my girl Erica is a content creator. So after you guys get done watching me, head over to her place. She does live streams too. She needs to get on the live stream journey again. She's taking a break right now, but she's got tons of videos over there. So go hang out with her, check out some of her videos, show her some love, give her some thumbs up. And I don't know if any of you guys, other guys, make videos. I don't think so. I think some of you guys are just on here to watch and support, which I appreciate. So thank you. Tomorrow we're starting the book of Mark. And on that note, I'm going to head on out here. Quick prayer for the people in the chat room. Quick prayer for the people on the replay. Lord, thank you every single day. And I can actually hear the rain out there. So let me calm down as I get ready to head out into this rain. Lord, protect me on my way to and from this bus stop. I pray over my daughter that she has a great day. Lord, bless her and keep her protected. For everybody in the live chat, bless their ears with understanding that they got something from this reading, Lord. Thank you for this time that I have to read it and to understand it and to get to know you. Even for the folks on the replay, whether they're watching it today or tomorrow or next week or next year, let them be blessed by this reading. Let them find understanding. Bless us all, Lord. We need you. We need you. Amen. Oh, yeah, I hear it now. It's raining. It's pouring. In a minute, I'm going to be snoring because I'm getting ready to go to bed, y'all. But even though I'm going to bed, whether you're waking up or laying down, be blessed, y'all. Be blessed.
Thanks for watching.
Entrepreneur Drive, wrong one. Let's get back to this one. Entrepreneur Drive 40, Entrepreneur Drive. Entrepreneur Drive 40, Entrepreneur Drive. Entrepreneur Drive 40, Entrepreneur Drive. Thanks for watching, share, like, and subscribe. Woo!
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to follow me on social media.